High-Tide Stick Radio reminds you not to do anything stupid on marijuana. You know, like get busted by your parents. You're listening to the doc live on YouTube. International sellout hip-hop concert tour, Arsfest. Arsfest features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course, St. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof one night, so be there or be on Facebook watching it. You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook. Right now, at BARZFEST Tampa. That's Arsfest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956. We're listening to me, the Doc MistaTre, on YouTube Live. Yeah, I'm a real doctor, like Dr. Phil's a real doctor, only bald. Wait a minute, he's bald. Only sexy. Yeah, sexier. Live with the Doc on YouTube, Monday through Friday on High-Tide Stick Radio.
After a shooting in Michigan that killed one person and left another in the hospital, the neighborhood is
So I get my niggas won't change in them songs. Even if I get famous, I shred. I feel like I make it. They feeling me now. I guess I got something for misery now. Okay, we young nigga live in effect. What? We silent protecting my craft. It's in divided for rich with all of my niggas, and we just working on math. And I feel like and I can talk above. The 2 feet on my kids going crazy like a reefer drinker. I'll find it frankly. It's the conversation. We keep hating. I keep live in rotation. Won't fuck with us. It be too basic. My memory yesterday ago. And I'm sure never be so thoughts. I'm moving down when they don't fly. And I feel my last goes on. Don't even talk about you walking niggas who so far not so by. Don't ask me about fucking again.
I hit the blunt yesterday, then I ashed it, thinking about the better days. Shit was classic. I pray to God y'all survive. Man, I wish I could fly. So I get
There's a second murder there this year, and this and we uncovered stats that show that it's the most dangerous part of the city.
Is it talking to the people who live there? Find out why there is so much.
Yo, Aaron, what's going on? A lot Jay since you been gone. See my mom holding on. Don't need a drink to be strong. I won't lie, I've been drinking and yes, I have been smoking more. I'm not really proud, it's that loud, I'm doing enough. Thinking about the moments we had ran from the police. Love, forget my sins, I'm left with all that you had done for me. Like babies, they want to rock every crib and run in my sleep. Fuck, whatever it is, you know that you can count on me. And my dog, man, I rest you the second time. Put it on, when you're done, pray that you making it back. I need you back home. I miss all of my soldiers and all the soldiers who gone. And I ask myself back to that and I'm just drinking. I hit the blunt yesterday, then I ashed it, thinking about the better days. Shit was classic. I pray to God y'all survive. Man, I wish I could fly. So I get
It's gotten worse because more kids are picking up guns.
High-Tide Stick Radio reminds you not to do anything stupid on marijuana. You know, like get busted by your parents. You're listening to the Doc live on YouTube.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name? Rose. Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life. Oh
Yeah, that's right. It's Friday. TGIF on High Tide. Stick with the doc. You're live with me, the doc, MistaTre. We're in Tampa, Florida, baby. Of course, well represented all over the country, though. Well represented all over the country, definitely. Shout out to everybody who's listening to us overseas as well. We have a lot of viewers that listen to us over in England, Brussels, China, Thailand. I mean, there's so many places I can't name them. Matter of fact, if you're watching us on Periscope or you're watching us on YouTube, I want you to go ahead and drop it into the chat box where you're at. Let us know where you're watching us at. What's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy. For those of you that don't know who that is, that's none other than the infamous. We're gonna call you infamous today.
Okay.
The infamous Chris Watkins, our Michigan and Bay City news insider, as well as our buddy and our pothead friend. So first off, I'm going to let you take the lead, but I'm just going to tell you the lead topic today is, of course, sex and weed going into Valentine's Day weekend. And I have from an article from High Times Magazine that I'm going to cover today, the 10 strains that are great for sex. But before we can get into the dirty, we need to find out if there's any other dirty news from Chris.
Oh, well, still working, talking with a manager at the Kroger store here in Bay City to try to get a sponsorship and get our water costs down below like $1 a case.
Oh, wow. That's actually pretty good. Yeah. That's really good.
Because see, right now they've got it on sale for $2 a case.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get them to knock it down for us and keep it there until I can purchase.
Right.
So the manager's getting a hold of her corporate office to find out if they can work with us. I'm sure if they can, it's just logistics.
Right.
And so that's in the works right now. They are talking about in the congressional hearing that they're going to bring manslaughter charges against whoever they find guilty.
Oh, wow. So we've already had deaths related to this that have been proven.
20 of them.
Oh, wow. Okay. See, now I didn't. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't actually figure that one out on my own. I am.
Well, it's not really set as it was directly linked to the water crisis. They didn't die from lead poisoning per se, but they were younger children that caught what they call the what the hell is that virus? What happened?
That Zika virus.
They emptied the main tank that held the city's water to keep pressure in the pipes.
Okay.
Because of the lead contamination. Well, that caused bacteria to leach out of that tank into the water system right along with the lead.
Huh.
Yeah. So that's what the 20 people passed away from. Not to include pets.
Wow. I mean, that's I think that people don't grasp the scope of like how serious that this really is. Like it's very serious. People are legitimately dying. Like this is serious business.
Right. It's a long-term effect. It's not something that's just going to go away when they fix the problem.
Right.
I mean, these people still have lead in their bodies.
Well, I think to complicate things even worse is not only are we dealing with the issue of these people having lead in their bodies, I think not only dealing with that issue, but then on top of that issue, we're also still dealing with the issue of future stuff too, birth defects, the effects on the learning disabilities for children because of the effects on the growth of the body and the brain and etc. I mean, there's so much more that we don't even know yet that could possibly be a potential fallout from this.
Yeah, because these children and these mothers that are getting pregnant and stuff, they're not really going to know until they birth their child or the child starts developing, starts going to school.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of these kids that we're not going to find out what the real effect was until a few years down the road.
Absolutely. I agree, and that's the thing that really bothers me or bugs me about the situation is that, and I think it was you that said it on Monday. I think it was that we virtually dropped a bomb on Flint, Michigan.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
nuclear bomb. I think it was you that said the nuclear bomb statement, and I think that is absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, the proper way to describe that.
It might as well be chemical warfare in point right now.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day,
Terrorism, as far as I'm concerned.
right. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, my concern lies with the people. You know, like you know, like I told you, I take being a radio host very seriously to the degree of that it is my job. It is my undoubtable job. It's my responsibility to bring you guys the news properly. It's my responsibility to bring you, you know, what's really going on in the world. It's my job to be honest and fair and to be as unbiased as possible, unless giving my honest opinion and say my personal opinion versus my professional opinion. And I think that sometimes people forget that I have to. I unfortunately, because I have to answer for both, but fortunately have the luxury or get the luxury of um, being allowed to have two opinions. My personal opinion is very different from my professional opinion. However, however, I will admit that my professional opinion will rarely have my personal feelings in it. My personal opinions will generally have more personal feelings interjected with logic.
Right, without a doubt. And here's another bubble buster for you that just happened yesterday here in Michigan.
Bring it, don't sing it.
They took good time to pass a law that says that you can't get a BJ and you can't have butt sex.
Okay, hold on. I would say that, you know, somebody trying to get rid of butt sex would be something like a shot at the gay the male homosexual community. I think that that's a shot at. If you're going to pass a law, literally a law that says you cannot have butt sex, you cannot have anal intercourse. If you pass a law that says that, then I turn around and I go, okay, you passed a law that defines what way a certain that affects the general way that a certain group has intercourse, and then you on top of that continue that law, or you go further with that law to include blowjobs, which would be probably, other than the hand job. I mean, how the hell is just two gay guys have sex? I'm guessing butt sex, blowjobs, and hand jobs. I would imagine. Again, I'm not gay, so I personally don't know. I have a lot of gay friends I could call whenever we can ask.
Yeah, right.
I wonder how uncomfortable that conversation would be. Hey, this is your buddy Alicio, and you know, or Trey, depending on who it is, because not everybody calls me by my real name. But hey, this is your buddy Trey. How do gay guys have sex? I got a couple of them that'd be like, I knew they were coming over the other side sooner or later.
Here's my thing. It's discrimination on both ends. Who are you to tell me what type of sex I can have?
Fair enough. I mean, if two people want to, if she says throw it anywhere you want it, I mean, what are you supposed to do except do what she asks? There are demands that women put on us that no matter how unfoul we are, we will be the nastiest nigga in bed.
But here's the thing. Even sometimes she likes it in the brown eye.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes she's like, hey.
Right, pop that pistol.
Oh my God, I can't believe. Where's presents? We need presents on the phone.
Presents. She'll talk to us about this.
And she'll talk to, hey, if there's ever anyone, shout out to presents, because if there's ever anyone that is willing to talk about weed and butt sex, it is presents.
Yeah,
it is presents. Oh my God, I want to message her on Facebook right now. I'm like,
yeah, you know we're gonna get
babe, call me.
This today.
We're gonna get in trouble.
That's okay. It's worth every sentence.
Well, I always tell everybody, what can I get in trouble? What can we really get in trouble for? I mean, we're on the internet. We're not on AM/FM. We're on the internet, so we can't get in a whole lot of trouble.
We did
get blocked. We got blocked.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Oh yeah, CNN had us blocked.
Mhm.
Hey, you know, if there's a shining moment to season, there's two shining moments that three really that stick out to me like a sore thumb as just great moments for us, and that was I'd say number three was getting blocked, or number three was the Christmas episode from my kitchen. That was fun, and that was cool because it was on Christmas Day. It was legit. And then number two would be getting blocked by CNN. And then number one would be what was the fucking conversation that you and me and Fats and Mr. D were having. The one where I was like, you got to give him the old lick him down low. And Mr. D's like, I don't give him the lick him down low. I'll do all that, but I'll put her in the Gut Blaster 7000 or some shit. And we're like, I don't know, we're giving shout outs to porn stars, and all of a sudden me and Mr. D start talking about how we're porn stars. I mean, it was just insane. I find myself probably once every 2 weeks, and back after it aired, probably every day watching that or listening to that episode, because I was just like, this shit is fucking funny. Like it's a legit, like it is absolutely hands down legit, probably the best episode ever. And it was just the vibe, the conversation. There was some minor tripping over each other, but it was nothing serious. You know what I mean? It was like it was legit, and that's why I'm like, man, that's cool.
Yeah, I can't. I seen a post for Bars Fest in July down there.
That was probably me or Fats. We're about 3 minutes out from the first break, by the way. But yeah, it was probably me and Fats. Or there's a lot of people now that there's probably about a good 4 or 5 people besides me and you and total probably about 5 people between me and you and Fats, and then there's Thea and a couple one other person that are posting. But we're talking with Crazy Joe right now. I don't know if you remember Crazy Joe, but if you remember if you remember Baby Bash's concert, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you remember that really tricked out 300 with that short, like straight mafia looking Mexican guy and the tall white girl?
Oh yeah.
By the way, that tall white girl, she was just there. She's just homies with the homeboy. I thought she was his girl, right? She's just homies with the homeboy. So that night, I forgot to tell you, that night at the Bash concert, she's like, hey, we'll hit me up on Facebook, blah 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 blah. And I was like,
I hate to cut my time short, but it looks like my dirt truck is here. So
what are you getting a dirt truck for?
Because I buy my dirt by bulk.
But what are you using the dirt for? Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. Hey.
For my girls.
Hey, I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn last night, but I smoked a blunt this morning. So anyway, by the way, I got mine, not High Tide Sticks, my personal Periscope right now. We're broadcasting behind the scenes. We're going to be doing the 10 strains for sex. Listen in or watch in today, either on Periscope or on YouTube, either one.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, either one. Either chime in on Periscope or chime in on YouTube. On Periscope you can at least comment though. On Periscope you can comment, so you should get in the room on Periscope with some of these people that comment. And by the way, for anybody on Periscope, drop where you're at. Hit us up where you're at. We'll give you a shout out right here on High Tide Stick Radio. Chris Watkins on the phone. We're gonna let Chris go though. No problem, man. It's fun to have you on. We got to talk more about the Flint, Michigan thing. Chris, by the way, for those of you that don't know it, has put together a GoFundMe page, and you can get the GoFundMe link to help us raise money for water for Flint. He's also in the process of working with a Kroger's or whatever, which is for those of you in Colorado, Kroger's is King Soopers. For those of you in Florida, Kroger's is Publix. For those of you in Ohio, Kroger's is Kroger's. So, for those of you in Arizona, Kroger's is Fry's. For those of you in everywhere in the country that's in a small little town, city market, Kroger's. So it's a very, very large grocery chain, but they're kind of the bell company. They're broken up into different sections of the country. So anyway, they're a very large grocery chain, and this very large grocery I don't know why I can't talk today. This very large grocery chain, but he say that 3 times fast. But this very large grocery chain is and he are working to get this cost of water down to below $1 a case. So, or at least around $1 a case. So see, what I'm thinking is if you can get $20. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with $20 probably today because I get paid today. Whoa. I might have to. Well, you know, I might have to do it from my cousin's credit card or something because I'm waiting on my credit card to come in the mail again. So, but anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give up $20 today, right out of the gate. I'm gonna give up $20 out of my paycheck. I'm gonna hook up $20. Hey, welcome to the show, by the way, for the new joiners on Periscope. Thanks for joining us. But anyway, so I'm gonna give up $20 today because here's the thing, guys. You gotta think weed poops. Oh, that's definitely Chris. Oh yeah, it's Chris on his. He got his Halo account. The crazy son of a gun. But anyway, so I'm gonna give up $20 today. I have to give it to my cousin, have her do it just because I'm waiting on my credit card to come from the bank in the mail. But I'm gonna give them $20 today, and because you have to look at the power of what $20 can do. See, that location is 45 minutes away. Okay, so to drive about 45 minutes, most of that being highway, you can drive about 45 minutes away on about $10 worth of gas. So if we can get the cost of per bottle down to $1 per bottle, then we're talking about $10 of your money is going to be buying, 10 bottles of water, and $10 is going to be going to gas. That's one person. If we can get 10 people to do that, then you're talking about like $2 of your money going to gas and 18 of that going to the other way, I should say. So anyway, but we're going to be right back. We're going to go to the break. When we get back from the break, we are absolutely going to talk about these 10 strains of weed that are what so you're High Tide Tickets. We'll be right back after the break. Stick around. Of course, live with the guy being brought to you by Bars Fest Tampa and Chris Watkins GoFundMe page. Helping support the Flint, Michigan water scandals, what I call it, but also crisis. We'll be back after the break. You're listening to me, the Doc, MistaTre, on YouTube Live. Yeah, I'm a real doctor, like Dr. Phil's a real doctor, only bald. Wait a minute, he's bald. Only sexy. Yeah, sexier. Live with the Doc on YouTube, Monday through Friday on High Tide Stick Radio. July the 10th, the National Sellout Hip Hop Concert Tour, Bars Fest. Bars Fest features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course, Tampa and St. Pete. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof, one night. So be there or be on Facebook watching it. You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook. Right now, at BARZFEST Tampa. That's Bars Fest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956. High Tide Stick is an entertainment, cannabis, news, politics, music, and radio talk show on YouTube for 21 and up. So do what you've always done. Kick your siblings out of the room, throw on your headphones, and enjoy the show. You're listening to The Doc on High Tide Stick Radio. Put your hands up. Everybody, everybody, together. Put your hands up. If you got more energy, put your hands up. So if you roll with me, put your hands up. You do the 100 to the beats, put your hands up. Rocking on the stage, everybody put your hands up. If you got more energy, put your hands up. So if you roll with me, put your hands up. You do the 100 to the beats, put your hands up. Rocking on the stage, everybody put your hands up. It's your fest, so everybody put your hands up. I'm rapping for the North Long Beach, stand up. Gun track, hillside, nigga, man up. Hey, I'm in the cut with a bad slut. With the tongue, we look like handcuffs. And the look in the eyes, so dangerous. Can you handle us? Cause I'm scandalous. With a Jesus piece of hang like fabulous. I'm a fat man, girl, you know my shit is high. And your man is mad, what you think I'm not? I do my thing when I lean, when you rock with it. Girl, do your thing on the floor when you drop, get it. I'm from the place where my niggas get cooked, where my niggas get booked. So what the fuck you want? To the 303, to the 562, where them gangsters be. Come on, you got more energy, put your hands up. So if you rollin' with me, put your hands up. You told her how to do the beats, put your hands up. Rockin' on the stage, everybody put your hands up. If you got more energy, put your hands up. Show me you rollin' with me, put your hands up. You told her how to do the beats, put your hands up. Rockin' on the stage, everybody put your hands up. See where I'm from, niggas crunk to get crunk. Ladies on the floor when they shaking they stuff. Nigga, what? I'm VIP, and I'm spitting at a shorty that's as fine as can be. You see, who can fuck with me? Mr. F-A-T-T-Z. I'm in a Lexus from Long Beach to Texas. Niggas talking loud, but they know not to test us. Cause in the beach, it's more for nothing. I'll blow the stuff right out your English muffin. I'm never bluffing, but forever stuffing. Pulling out nigga in a big body something. So come on, baby, and party with me. Get crunk up, go with Bacardi with me. At this week, keep your mind at ease as you rollin' with these fucking hustle Harley G's. Come on, you got more energy, put your hands up. Show me you rollin' with me, put your hands up. You told me how to do the beats, put your hands up. Rockin' on the stage, everybody put your hands up. If you got more energy, put your hands up. Show me you rollin' with me, put your hands up. You told me how to do the beats, put your hands up. Rockin' on the stage, everybody put your hands up. Yeah, nigga. Welcome to Long Beach. Hey, hustle hard, man. Yeah. Long Beach, California, man. Where the shit is hot. Hey, hustle hard, man. So you know how we rock. Shorty, you roll in the bleeds. You got the fast into me. You doing 100 to the beach. No stems, no seams. Everybody put your shorty, you roll in the bleeds. You got the National Sellout Hip Hop Concert Tour, RSFest. RSFest features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course Tampa and St. Pete. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof, one night. So be there or be on Facebook watching. You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook. Right now, at BARZFEST Tampa. That's RSFest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956. High Stick Radio reminds you not to do anything stupid on marijuana. You know, like get busted by your parents. You're listening to the doc live on YouTube.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name? Rose. Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Yeah, we are back. In effect, live. What? So, before we went to break, we had, of course, our boy, Chris Watkins on the show. And he was, of course, gracing us with his illustrious presence. I want to thank him again for being on the show. Again, if you want to help out with the GoFundMe page, please, you know, we can use all the help and support we can get for the GoFundMe page. Again, you can go to High Tide Stick on Facebook, and you can see the page there. We'll be posting that there for you guys. You can go to let's see, you can go to the High Tide Stick page. You can go to the my personal Facebook page if you know me like that. You can go to the MistaTre Facebook page, any of those, and you're going to be able to just scroll down through the links, and there's a link there for the GoFundMe page. Again, like I said, just throw $20 that way. You know, if me and my boy put in $20, that's $10 for gas. That's going to get us there. And that's 30 cases of water for people in Michigan. That's how small of a contribution you have to make to help some people out who are literally being poisoned by their own water due to a fallacy by the government. Now, we're going to get into sex and weed now. I'm excited about this. I'm like, oh, boy. This, you know, anytime I get to talk about sex on the radio show, you know, it is something that I cannot lie. It moves me. I'm motivated by it. I'm motivated by sex and weed. I'm quite thoroughly motivated by sex and weed nonetheless. And so anytime I get a chance to talk about sex and weed, I love to get a chance to talk about sex and weed. And so we have the 10 strands that are probably the best 10 strands when it comes to having great sex. Now, excuse me. Oh, I am so congested. I cannot even begin to tell you how congested I really am. And it hurts. No, I'm just kidding. But I am really congested. So if I sound a little off, I have for this whole week is because rather than not be here for us, on week one when we came back from our winter break for the second half of season 2, I sucked it up. Okay, suck it up. I always tell my kids when they're whining, suck it up, Buttercup. So lead by example. First off, I always tell everybody, if you want to know the best way to parent is lead by example. That is absolutely probably the best way, in my opinion, as a parent, to be a good parent is just lead by example. So anyway, we are, of course, discussing the 10 strands or strains, depending on our strands, my dear friend strands. I love my friends, by the way, over in England. I do a terrible British accent, but you have to love me for trying because, I love you guys. I think it's fair, a little love back. That's all. That's all your boy's asking for is a little love back. You know what I'm saying? Just show a little love back. No, I'm just kidding. You guys always show me love. I'm being a bit of a wanker buster. But seriously, I really do love you guys overseas. By the way, all our viewers on Periscope, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Thank you guys for making my dream real, which is to host a marijuana radio show. And so I love you guys to death. Absolutely can't even think of the million reasons why. I can think of a million reasons why, but I always tell everybody is without you guys, there wouldn't be a need for me as a radio host or as a talk show host. So thank you again. Just real quick here, if I can be real with you on Friday, halfway through season 1, thank you. Like seriously, I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate every single person, even if you only got 5 minutes to listen to the show because you got to be somewhere. Even if you only got 5 minutes to chime in and leave a comment on Periscope where you're at. Thank you for that. So moving into these 10 strands of weed. Let's see here. I think that what you guys really want to understand is that again we can't just I can't even begin to tell you how funny some of these are. Like I really can't. We got to get back in. We got to get back into. We have to get back in. Oh my God! I think we should call this. So anyway, we're back. I had to get Periscope back up real quick because I had to get well. So we got Periscope back up. My bad. But anyway, so we're talking about weed and sex, and with it being the eve of Valentine's Day weekend, let's get into this weed and sex thing. So if you've never had sex on weed, you may be missing out. You may be lacking in that department, So let's get into these 10 strands of cannabis that are the most effective / best strands to have, sex or get it in, do the old with your girlfriend or do the old with your boyfriend. The catch is that when it comes to having sex and sex and weed, and by the way, shout out to everybody on Periscope for joining us. Let us know where you're at, and we'll give you a shout out right here on the show today. So tell us where you guys are watching from. But anyway, so strand number 1, Skywalker. This indica dominant hybrid is the love child of blueberry and mazar. It's a relaxing medicine as an excellent and is excellent at knocking out PTSD as it encourages you to be relaxed and stuff. So again, it's called Skywalker, and it's an indica dominant. So if you have that sort of couchy, I'm super stoned feeling, you may not want to. You may not want that one. Voodoo. This sativa magic, indeed, it's long lasting and it's also stress relieving. Just kick the. It'll just. It's the ticket for like if you're nervous and you're trying to, be and you try to keep it energized and friendly with someone, or High Times Magazine recommends the Voodoo strand for threesomes, of course, and I don't I don't know about all of these, man, but we're gonna run with them. So, by the way, you're listening to High Tide Stick Radio, live with the Doc, MistaTre. I'm coming to you live from Tampa, Florida. Again, for all of our listeners on Periscope, tell us where you're listening from. Drop us a little message in there or whatever, and we'll give you a shout out where you're at. So the next strand is blue cheese. Now, I smoked this strand quite a bit. This is an indica cross that has a funky name and smell. It's a fabulous painkiller, and hence the reason why I smoke blue cheese is because it's a great painkiller and I got back problems. But their reason for it being a good sexual strand is horrible. Horrible, I tell you. It says, this will let you try some funky stuff without the ouch, i.e. butt sex. Shout out to Chris Watkins, who had to bring up butt sex, and now it seems to just be making its way into every conversation today. So thanks, Chris. Appreciate that, buddy. So the next one is Asian Fantasy, a rare sativa with an uplifting euphoric effect. It's perfect vacation sex weed. This one will keep you hopping or humping like an Energizer bunny. And I have to agree with this strand because this, like, I smoke a lot of weed, but there are certain strands like Asian Fantasy that really do give you that real euphoric feel, but you're like, ooh, I'm wide awake, I'm feeling good, I'm smoking trees, I'm danked out, and now I'm about to all over you, girl. All right, so the next one is skunk number 1, the big bad grandfather hybrid of the Led Zeppelin led to the sorry, not Zeppelin, but led to the Zillion skunk cross. The cottonmouth is severe, so avoid oral. Oh, okay. So basically, if you're gonna give head, either way, to her or she gonna give it to you, it's probably it says that this isn't probably the skunk one isn't probably the best one because you're gonna end up with cottonmouth, and it's gonna make it really like not that great. Now, me personally, if I got cottonmouth, I don't care because that bitch gonna rain on me. So I'll still, but if you got cottonmouth, it sucks to be you if you got cottonmouth and you trying to get head from your girl if she got cottonmouth. So skunk number 1 may not be the best sex weed if you trying to go like all in like 50 Shades of Grey. But me personally, I don't care if I got cottonmouth because if I'm doing the old lick 'em down low on her, as young Fats would call it, the old lick 'em down low, I'm gonna make that bitch rain. So I ain't worried about me having cottonmouth because she gonna quench my thirst. She gonna make me feel good with the cottonmouth. So anyway, the next one, goo. So with a name like goo, expect to get messy. This 80% indica provides heavy calming effects without losing the cerebral high that is the brain power of an oral sex marathon. So the strain goo, which I've never had sex on goo, just so you know, not okay, at least not knowledgeably had sex on goo. But I believe I've smoked goo before, but I don't think I've ever had sex while smoking goo. But it sounds like I need to because it's like it's like use that brain power for an oral sex marathon. This is my stuff right here. Get her all calm, and then that mother boy. I'm telling you. So Granddaddy Purple. My first time smoking this strain, I was in bed with a lover who was thinking about leaving New York. All I could manage was, I want to move next door to this weed, bring this indica home, and put a ring on it. Oh my God. So apparently that weed's really good. Um, Flow. Now I have had many. I've smoked. I used to smoke Flow regularly. Like that was like my regular Reggie, my everyday weed. That was my, that was my smoking toke everyday, shit right there. And so let's see what it says about Flow, and then I'll give you my take on Flow, as I've had many sexual interactions / encounters on Flow. And so, with that said, I want y'all to make sure that you guys, you find out about the Flow, man. So this hybrid will make you super sexy and also provide great cerebral clarity. I recommend Flow for one night stands, so make sure to wrap it up before you tap it. Oh my God, that's funny. I'm sorry again for the cough and all that to all my listeners and viewers. I'm again just so sick and congested. The winter has not been harsh on me, but it hasn't been easy either. So but anyway, so as we continue our little shenanigans on through this, we are going to go ahead and we're going to go to a break. When we come back from the break, we will when we come back from the break, we're going to go ahead and we will get into the next half of this list of wonderful things. By the way, during the last break, music to us, the music break was brought to us, of course, that was Young Fats on it. During this music break, we are going to hear Fetty Wap featuring Two Piece, I'm sorry, featuring Fetty Wap on My Grind. Again, Two Piece will be in Tampa at Bars Fest, which if you've been paying attention to the commercials, you'll know, we got the Bars Fest thing going on. So just, stick with us. We got a lot going on with the rest of the show. We're going to continue to find out the best weed for sex strands out there in the world on this Valentine's Day weekend. I'm the Doc, MistaTre, and of course, you're listening to High Tide Stick Radio, live with the Doc. Just, again, we'll be back after the break. Oh, and one more thing, too. Don't forget to go to Chris Watkins' GoFundMe page. We really want you guys to go to that GoFundMe page. Help out where you can. Be somebody who makes a difference. The National Sellout Hip Hop Concert Tour, Bars Fest. Bars Fest features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course Tampa and St. Pete. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof, one night. So be there or be on Facebook watching. You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook. Right now, at BARZFEST Tampa. That's Bars Fest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956. High Tide Stick Radio reminds you not to do anything stupid on marijuana. Like get busted by your parents. You're listening to the Doc live on YouTube.
What it do, Fetty? Who behind? Do it big. Yeah, gang.
Hey, once I started, stayed on my grind. Yeah. MistaTre told me don't waste no time. Smoke a big dope, shit smell like pine. I drop a foreign in the woods like fun. Niggas foreign, his was not like mine. I got a couple hundred just to watch my tongue. Niggas boring, his was not like mine. I got a couple hundred just to watch my tongue. Since I was young, I was young. Nickels and dollars and nuggets. Ever since the ride, man. Just to believe I'm a brother, smoking like a zombie. So game my I'm not exact to my job. Oh my God, since once I started, stayed on my grind. MistaTre told me don't waste no time. Smoke a big dope, shit smell like pine. I drop a foreign and the wheels look fun. Niggas foreign, was not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my tongue. Niggas boring, was not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my tongue.
Hey, my hood said get you, so fuck you. You, your dead homies, and your pistols. I'm from Gainesville. We don't talk bitch. When it's out this bitch, I'm living like a Russian missile. I've been a real nigga. I just damn like that. And I've been joining these in Texas like a rapper. Use a cartoon character. Facebook, get a Grammy, you a push the ball, me, we can ramble in the gun. I got a top on the way, and 100 round drum. If you're between me and you haters, is I'm winning. The label left a nigga, I bounce back in the pit.
Once I started, stayed on my grind. MistaTre told me don't waste no time. Smoking big dope shit, smell like cum. I drop a foreign and the wheels look fun. Niggas boring, his flows not like couple hundred just to watch my tongue. Niggas boring, his flows not like a couple hundred just to watch my tongue.
Hey, I'm in the studio, grinding with no pen or pad. I gave my white nigga money, now you at his man. Shit, my belly was on E, I can feel the hunger. First I turn your block into a fucking song. I left the West Coast to bring back my street cred. I don't know why niggas eating when the streets dead. I know what these live when they think I don't. And now I leave a nigga slanging the way I want. Going to the world, make 2 piece famous. But you been rubbing my money, I'ma sell entertainment. I don't owe nobody nothing that ain't on me. You made a feature, you charging a fuck nigga fee.
Once I started, stayed on my grind. MistaTre told me don't waste no time. Smoking big dope shit, smell like cum. I drop a foreign and the wheels look fun. Niggas boring, his flows not like cum. Couple hundred just to watch my tongue. Niggas boring, his flows not like cum. A couple hundred just to watch my tongue.
High Stick is an entertainment, cannabis, news, politics, music, and radio talk show on YouTube for 21 and up. So do what you've always done. Kick your siblings out of the room, throw on your headphones, and enjoy the show. You're listening to The Doc on High Stick Radio.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name? Rose. Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
This July, the Tampa Bay International Sellout Hip Hop Concert Tour, Arsfest. Arsfest features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course, Tampa and St. Pete. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof, one night. So be there or be on Facebook watching it. You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook right now at BARZFEST Tampa. That's Arsfest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name? Rose. Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Yeah, we are back. A few minutes left in the show. We got a little bit of time left, so we're going to finish up the show. We're going to wrap up with this final little segment. We'll have some fun with it. Of course, the 10 strains that are the best strains for, sex and weed. It's Valentine's Day. So, with Valentine's Day this weekend, we're going to stick with our little theme here for Valentine's Day. And we're going to roll with it, And so, again, we left off with Flow, which is a strain that I like to think that I have a little bit more of a sort of knowledge of the strain, because I've had lots of sex while smoking or been on Flow, and I do believe that it's a great strain for, like they said, one night stands. I think it's a perfect strain for one night stands, because I think that you're able to be a little bit more alert, a little bit more aware of what's going on. It's not the roofie weed, it's not roofie weed as I like to call it. Also, Trainwreck. Trainwreck is a sativa, another sativa that I've smoked and had, multiple times of sex on. But anyway, sativa provides an orgasmic body buzz, which will eye in the most delightful way possible. Again, Trainwreck is actually a really good sativa if you're going to really be like making some serious like love with somebody. A great makeup sex weed, as they say here on High Times Magazine's website. It's a great makeup sex weed. But again, I personally like the how do you say the I like the Trainwreck. I think Trainwreck's a good strain that you can have some great sex on. Sour Dream is an offspring of Blue Dream and Sour Diesel. I have never smoked either one, but I've actually smoked both of them together by just mixing them. So this is a sativa dominant hybrid that will ease your social anxieties but keep you up all night. Roll a few joints for the next sex party you attend. That's what they say out there. Now, me personally, you're gonna find me smoking like a Blue Dream Sour Diesel blend when I go out to the club. Like again, you're not gonna. It's not gonna make you tired. You're not gonna get sleepy on it. And so, for me personally, I think it's a great strain to go with. For me, that's again now you have to look at marijuana as what's great for me personally. And so for me personally, I like the Sour Dream or the Sour Dream. I think the Blue Dream Sour Diesel, like I said, I've smoked blunts with both of those strains in them, and you're right, you'll be up all night having a party and having a good time. So that's the final one, is the Sour Dream. I think again, like I said, I think it's a great strain. I think that it is a I think that they're onto something here with these 10 strains, though. I really do. I personally like the last three: Flow, Trainwreck, and Sour Dream. I think that those are ones that are more. I think that the sort of the biochemical breakdown of those strains seems to be something that would more fit for my lifestyle / the way I like to smoke weed. You know what I mean? So, with that said, though, we are like I said, we're almost to the end of the show here. We got a few minutes left in the show, so we do want to hit the news here and go over the news here. So one of the stories that did stick out to me today is that there are medical marijuana advocacies that are trying to expand the reach and research of pot. That's in the use of pot in the U.S. Some have actually gone to the extent to take their case all the way to the United Nations. Stephen Shear, the executive director of Americans for Safe Access, the ASA, and Michael Kratzwertz, the executive director of Veterans for Medical Cannabis Access, met with other organizations at the UN this week in preparation for the upcoming United Nations General Assembly special session, the UNGASS 2016, on drug policy, which is scheduled for April 29th through the 21st, which is funny because on 420, they'll be in session specifically talking about drug policy, world drug policy, that is. So I find that to be absolutely hilarious. That just happens to be the day that this is coming up. The goal of the meeting is to provide input for the report, urging a global policy on medical cannabis to be included in the drug policy report. And essentially what this would do is if you don't understand like why these things are done, a lot of people think that time is wasted and these things are done for no reason, but that's not the reality of it. The reality is that these things are absolutely or very much so done for a reason. And as a matter of fact, the fact that they're done for a reason and that they are done for a reason is inherent to usually the goals that are trying to be achieved. They're inherent to the things that we're trying to get done in our culture or in our world. And so because of that, I think that it is important for people to remember that when we talk about the issue of drug use in America, when we talk about the issue of recognition for drug use in America, I think that we have to remember that that we can't continue to pretend like things aren't happening. Also, after 1 year, the District of Columbia's legalized pot, there's still nowhere to buy it. Again, this is something that we've covered several times, and this is a problem that we continue to see, and that we continue to see marijuana advocates and people in locations where you can buy pot, but you can't really buy pot. This is a continued issue. We've seen this in Michigan, where you have to, like Chris Watkins said, I have to travel 120 miles away to go get medicine, so I just start growing it on my own, and then I got to worry about somebody trying to kick in my door for that. So there's so much more to the issue, and there's so much more to the problem, and I think that that's something that needs to be recognized and needs to be looked at, because at the end of the day, all we want is what's best for our friends and what is best for everyone. And so because of that, we have to look at that, and we have to continue to move forward with that. Los Angeles eggshell is guilty to prison through scandal. We're going to talk about that probably tomorrow. So much more going on. Guys, enjoy your weekend. It's been a great week back here at High Tide Stick Radio, and I appreciate everyone who listens here in the U.S. around the globe and all over, man. Thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for chiming in and commenting. We love you for that. I'm out. Peace. We're listening to me, the Doc MistaTre, on YouTube Live. Yeah, I'm a real doctor, like Dr. Phil's a real doctor, only bald. Wait a minute, he's bald. Only sexy. Yeah, sexier. Live with the Doc on YouTube, Monday through Friday on High Tide Stick Radio.
Yeah, man. You wrote this so you know how he feels so real. No Jamaican, we got one Puerto Rican, number one son. Smoke drugs would be worth all for one man. Yeah, man, you smoke all day, so for God's man. But never surrender me, can't turn wrong. Sammy between my toes, he feels so good. But they never got him in the eye to show you. But tonight's more fireflies and blank songs. Whatever now, summer days, like we should be party like we should. Everything will be alright. In the city, we try to go on, the fight. But the next thing I say, between the toes, not letting the world in the right. The continuation that I got for the Dominican and Haitian, whether it comes to violence, come on. But from the American nation, don't play back and go and play somebody from the Caribbean, chosen next week. So, we will be a mix between them and do a place. And you won't go watch this beer with hippies in the Drake city. Like you see, man, we really like control trace. Take like the foundations of the world with the history page. Today's back, we slowly get back to the raging. You know what, so there's occasion, and we're out of all the cages. And first, the moment, never shot the way you hope, and never shot the more crazy. And the you're right. Everything will be alright. In the city, we try to go on, more to fight. But the next I gotta say, when the toes not good, no more, no right. If you black, white, Asian, Caribbean, or Spanish, let's enjoy the summer night, let that hate down while she vanish. Let's be more like the real cats piece, and I put it on my damn head. Chill out, roll that one in, let's talk about why we blowing cannabis. I'm just saying, we need to put on deep meditation. Niggas even focus on the negative and the generating. So bad, we can just win, hell yeah, celebrating. Don't make me feel like old mercy like you're better hating. When love became the king, there's dying. Me born the king, and one long destiny down, no line. Do you know how me feel now, mama?
High Tide Stick Radio reminds you not to do anything stupid on marijuana. You know, like get busted by your parents. You're listening to the Doc live on YouTube. The National Sellout Hip Hop Concert Tour, Arsfest. Arsfest features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course Tampa and St. Pete. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof, one night. So be there or be on Facebook watching it. You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook. Right now, at BARZFEST Tampa. That's Arsfest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956. High Tide Stick is an entertainment, cannabis, news, politics, music, and radio talk show on YouTube for 21 and up. So do what you've always done. Kick your siblings out of the room, throw on your headphones, and enjoy the show. You're listening to The Doc on High Tide Stick Radio.